out. They'll get the D ward here. Like
Hawk is scouting Sylar moving over toward that mid lane. First, they're going to address their lanes. So the nice thing is like TNC doesn't have to address all his lanes because Armel can always do it. But Morphling wants to be able to get some of his farm too, not just coming jungle creeps.
It's got to be said, like, how nice that vision is that you get from the boar, like scouting out ganks beforehand, or you know, just anticipating where a fight's going to be. You can just pop one right at the start of it. Yeah, I mean, boar and Hawk are the new Hawk is it's just crazy. It's invisible and it's so tanky. The biggest thing for me is like when you're playing support and you find the Hawk, you're like, you just run from it now because you're like, I can't kill it. It's got 750 HP and 5 armor. Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Dire's bottom
Mighty Hawk.
is under attack.
Yeah, you put a sentry down, you're like, oh god, they're making a play around here. Peace.
Speaking of making a play, Gabby gonna push out this wave. The Radiant scan, realize, yeah, absolutely, everybody is there. Although, are they going to try and defend against this? As it looks like TNC have shown up in this lane in force.
This is a much slower paced game than we've had this morning.
Yeah.
Most of them have had quite a lot of kills. This is only 6-5 in 1830.
But the thing that's crazy is it's a 6,000 gold lead. Like,
yeah.
It feels as if TNC are just completely dominating this game with their movement, with their farming.
I mean, 6,000 gold lead and also 6,000 experience. Like, they're just distributing their resources well. And, I mean, Armel being able to do the jungle thing freely, not getting contested at all. He farmed so many camps and gave his supports the lanes.
Yeah.
He's going to be a big problem for this Tower Blade, Sylar, who is keeping up in the net worth, but it's just him. And we've seen quite a few times about these 4 Protect 1s, what can end up happening if it's just a Tower Blade versus the world.
And Gabby saying, you know, come and deal with me. You throw out the stun, force him back. There is still some counter pressure going on. You talked about it, the Terrorblade and the Puck. But with those 2 heroes not in the base right now, Gabby is just taking this tier 3 tower. They don't have an answer as of yet. And Lover, he does throw out the Illusory Orb. Blink away yet again, but with Tinker marching, spamming out those rockets, Aster are hard-pressed to deal with this.
We haven't seen XXS even like attempt to throw out a wall or anything. When we were watching Faith Beyond, he was not afraid to just throw the wall down. If people were pushing, people were committing rush, he's just like, I don't care, wall. He's not been doing it. He's looking for the combo in the majority of these times, and they're losing their 2-3. They're going for a big wraparound, but Rax is being hit. You're going to have to being laid down.
Aster's going to have to try and break high ground here as they go forward and already able to get the Lord to interrupt. Sylar jumps forward. There's going to be the Ava toss. The Chain Frost bouncing pretty good with the vacuum in the wall already down, but Gabby is still living through this. It looks like with Darkseer dead, but also losing the Tiny and the Beastmaster, it might be enough here, but they did just lose the Sven as well. So a trade-off of 2 for 2, but it's the tier 3 tower down.
Yeah, tier 3 tower got completely taken, and half health on the Rax too. That was a very good combination of skills, right? They land a 2-man coil, then they can just throw the Chain Frost on top, and it's going to bounce between all these targets.
So it does end up working out that wraparound, but still you can see TNC are not afraid.
No,
They're sticking around this area.
It worked, right? It gets them an experience out of those kills because they are at an XP deficit, but the gold, it just continues to rise for TNC because they're like, okay, we killed a tier 3, Gabby can hit shrines. He can kill this enemy shrine, while Armel just goes and farms out the rest of the side lanes of the map, and his other supports kind of take lanes too.
And they did just reclaim that Aegis. You can see Tinker all over the place here.
Yeah.
It's just been controlling the map. But the other thing to keep in mind is that, you know, with Beastmaster respawning and moving back into position, Armel pushing out the creep waves, they can come back and do this again if they wanted to.
They don't have to wait for ultis. That's the difference. Is we look at meta. I mean, meta's not an ulti, I know, but it's pretty much the ulti. 70 seconds left on that one. TNC doesn't have to wait for ultimates. Here they go again.
Another Illusory Orb thrown out to slow down this push, but it's only for a second, and Gabby pushes through that wave, gonna go claim another shrine.
Yeah, claim the map control. Look, we see and say so much, right? Suffocate, keep your farm just that much higher, and you're gonna be able to do that really well as a Tinker, as I was mentioning before, like versus Terrorblade. TB, a lot of your farm that you get as a TB is because you're illusion split pushing, but versus it's harder.
Terrorblade does pick up the Lincolns.
Okay, so you can block that roar.
Yeah.
And that lift, these 2 important instant disables. But he doesn't have like a Scotty or something, right? For a chase or that power. It's just a little bit more defensive.
That's going to be an Ag Scepter done. Ninja Boogie Lift up onto one, stolen coil, not bad. Gonna force out the break there as Puck gonna get stunned afterwards. Looks like they're gonna be able to back out.
Coil's used.
Yeah.
TNC has everything, but now Sylar will have meta available again.
Another Avatos just clearing through that creep wave. Bottom lane is pushing for Aster.
But they've got a Tinker.
Exactly.
They can always just take care of it.
Does want to be careful a little bit that he doesn't get caught out if there was like a big smoke move or something like that.
Yep.
But it's a smoke instead from TNC as they go as 4.
They just finished up the E-Blade of the Morphling. And they get a scan. Hit successfully.
An idea, an inkling of where Aster are at.
Who's going to be the one? Is it going to be Lich to eat the gank?
Drops down the ward. They see that their sentry was just taken down, so they know that somebody is in this area. And now the Tiny revealed, and, well, the Lich didn't stand a chance. Get the morph duration as well.
Yeah.
You pretty much consistently see on that hero.
I love both the morph abilities. Morph target allies in this game probably not as good, obviously, but in some situations it can be. The morph duration one is just so nice because it's got like a 5-second downtime between you not having it. You get that ability. Lets you do much more fun with your playstyle too. You can just play as 2 heroes.
I gotta say, this is like the slowest 10,000 net worth lead that I've seen, and just in terms of the pace of the game. It's remained steady throughout.
Yeah, and the experience is now continuing to go up there too. It's both. TNC is just doing a great job of controlling the map and only allowing Terrorblade to farm. Puck, not able to really get a whole lot. Neither is the Darkseer. This is, yeah, it's a pretty strong TNC duel. I mean, it's like a dual core versus this TV, and
Sylar needs to be careful. If they coil and snap it on him, there's the jump forward, Avatos, it's full combination, but is it going to be enough? The E-Blade wasn't quite able to kill. He wanted to pull him outside of range, and they gave really the spear off. And now the turnaround with Reflection. TB is hitting himself, and now his Tinker is going to go absolutely wild. Gabby finding himself almost another kill, not able to phase shift that one. Now Gabby switching back over into the Puck already. All of Aster is so freaking low, and Sylar, is he going to fall? Barely getting away the toss. He tossed the freaking illusion. Oh, Tim's, you beautiful man.
Oh my god, he almost ends up like surviving through all that because the coil comes out on Gabby and he can't actually burst him, but now Aster, they don't have Terrorblade, they've used everything, there's no meta. This should be the racks for TNC. They've got more than enough health and sustain with Armel coming in and healing people with the bottle constantly too. So Gabby getting bottled up there from the Tinker.
Easy peasy in that fashion, and gonna move over towards the mid-tier 3 tower as well.
I felt like they had pinged that high ground too when Fenrir died, saying like, oh, they have a ward here. And then Sylar just went and farmed there afterwards anyway. That was very risky positioning there for Aster and gets punished. TNC just cruising it through this game.
I thought Tim's was going to go for the toss to break the coil, but I think that he was worried about not finding him potentially or something.
I thought so too. They almost had him anyway, even before, but he gets stunned and they still can kill him. Because that was them, 4 people surrounding them, and then Armel comes in when the fight was already looking kind of TNC favored anyway, and then Armel just comes in like 3 or 4 rockets. Solidifies the victory.
In the words of Tinker, pew pew pew.
Yep. Indeed. Level 20 already too.
Back up in 30 seconds. A 17,000 net worth lead. And I don't know whether it's a mixture of just not having anything to do, or it just feels like all of the moves that Aster has made have not been able to do anything this game.
They just haven't, I feel like I haven't really seen them been trying to make too many moves, to be honest. Like the Puck and the Darkseer feel like they're the ones that need to really make the moves, because Terrorblade wants to farm, but the only ganks that we saw was like that one from like the Lich and the Sven, and then Puck tried once bottom, didn't find anybody, and it's just been like a farm game, and TNC just always being able to have either break wards and vision down, having a hawk down to scout where Aster's moving, or Aster just not making the gank.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, the only one that I can think about is that Lich Sven rotation that didn't do anything.
The other ones were the smoke bottom that caught a Tiny.
Yep.
And then smoke that got red, and they didn't actually catch anybody. So, I mean, TNC's movement around the map has been just far superior to Aster's.
Tim's is just throwing trees at the Terrorblade.
Yeah, if they have got this, they had like the deep ward down, so they were able to watch the movements from Aster coming out of the base, and now it's Aegis and cheese.
So 17,000, 18,000 net worth lead, 19,000. It just keeps going up. Can't stop it here as they're getting ready for what feels like it could be close to one final push unless something miraculous happens here.
Yep, pretty much. I don't see... Yeah, I mean, TNC, if Aster was on even grounds, the fights could be good, but TNC with an advantage are just going to crush them in these fights, especially if the Tinker's not found. I think the darts are in the puck, they have to just blink and find this Tinker in the back lines and just try to get these combos on him, because if Armel's in the back free to cast, it's going to be really tough for this Terrorblade, or Sylar, who does not have a BKB. Nor is he going for one.
Oh, God. I mean, by the same token, you feel like, okay, we need the damage to be able to win the fight, and if you don't win the fight, you need the BKB to win the fight. Sylar, oh God, Sylar, no. Avalanche, he said it, he doesn't have a BKB to manage to find that toss. The roar follow-up, lifting up on the darks here, trying to kill off the Sunder. It does manage to go off there in the end, and Rior immediately going to be back up to full HP. Chain Frost bouncing a little bit. Doesn't look like it's doing quite enough damage though, and now Tim's chasing forward for the Sven, while Gabby tries to just jump inside their base. And it's going to square off against Puck.
Arcane Rune Morph.
I mean, they can wait afterward if they want to for this Metamorphosis to be down.
God, it was so close to them bursting Sylar, but the Ethereal Blade actually, him having that Ethereal form, they didn't have enough magic damage to finish it off since the Tinker wasn't there. But now, look at this, just the rockets alone.
Oh my God! Over and over, the missile strikes are landing on Team Aster, and the jump forward, God Strength as well. Gabby brought down low vacuum ball. They burn through the ages. This is looking kind of decent here for Aster, finally making a move. But Gabby's going to be able to wait for him out. Now Armel jumps in a second round. He's going for the Sunder. He is able to find it on Sylar. Now the chase forward for more. Actually, this Tinker's out of mana as well, so looks like with the Rubik going down, Aster hold.
Yep, pretty good defense there. Having to use absolutely everything though. You had to just run in and try to get this like combo, right? The vacuum into the Stormbolt didn't connect at the most perfection, but they had the wall that landed right on top of the Morphling.
Yeah.
Which is, as we said, very important when you're behind, because the Morphling's gonna hurt himself the most.
Well, and you did mention it. It was the Metamorphosis used as well as that wall, and there's not that many cooldowns on TNC. The downside is that they won't have an Aegis, but could potentially be an opening here for them if they wanted to try and push the tempo yet again.
They used the cheese too, right? I'm pretty sure I saw.
Oh yeah,
it was used as well. Yep. Now they do have another big item though. They're still continuing to scale quite heavily. It's the BKB was finished on the Morph in that last fight, of course. We'll be going for that Scotty, but a full Hex now for Armel. No defensive items again.
God.
life of a support versus Ethereal versus Shotgun Morphling.
Gosh. Shotgun, Morphling, and Tinker in this game.
Yeah.
He'll buy back. How long will he survive, though? Still a little while longer. 30 seconds until Metamorphosis. You've got 10 seconds until wall. What can they get done in that time? Gabby going to switch over into the Sven. Turns to fight. Avalanche, toss, every damn thing thrown out onto him. And Luke able to steal Warcry. They force out the Glyph.
Oh, look at that. He's Sven. And they stole Warcry, so they're going to have Warcry and then another Warcry because of the Rubik afterwards.
Oh, hard to deal with. The second Warcry comes out, and now the waveform away, their barracks are already gone. Yep,
they're just pushing them away with the rockets as Gabby's able to hit that one cleanly. And like we were mentioning, TNC didn't have to wait for cooldowns, while Aster did. They were not prepared just yet.
Really good timing. They get out of there once they know that Metamorphosis is back off cooldown, and of course after they claimed the barracks. It's a Terrorblade, MKB done.
Spent his gold. Has queued up Satanic. How close is he to that? How close is he to buyback?
This guy doesn't want to buy BKB.
Yeah, 800 to buyback. Yeah, he really doesn't. I guess because there's like the Beastmaster role, he doesn't really want to build that because he's going to just get bored through it, but definitely going to need it at some point versus this Tinker.
No. I guess there is the argument that if you can hold out to the super duper late game, you're going to have a fresh 10-second BKB. Yep. That might be 20 minutes after the game is over, but you know, 19,000 net worth lead, 31 minutes in. Gabby moving forward, finding Sylar.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
Manta. All right. He's good. He's cool. And there it was, that Morph triggering the Lincolns.
Yeah.
On the illusion. Reflection. The rocket spam is going to be painful for Aster.
Yeah, and it's not like usually that's because of awards. You see they have the sentry down, but it's a Hawk that's there, keeping the vision constantly for those rockets.
Yeah, they drop down the secondary wards that way.
Oh man, Tim's just throwing fireworks.
Tim's
that's Baboka now too.
Literally styling.
It's both of them. It's Baboka and Tim's.
Oh, Chinese New Year's coming early here.
Jaboogie has now stun. This is a very solid steal. Anytime you can get a disable.
Tim's daring them to come any closer. Oh, in that Stormhammer dispels?
Yeah, there's not really a whole lot to dispel in this one.
When they steal Warcry, it's preemptive.
Oh, they toss out! They toss out!
Oh god, that's a problem. Dead does have buyback, is maybe going to need to use it here if there's a full commitment, and Sven lifted up, they're going to buy back on that Darkseer. Now Gabby very far forward, they're able to find that coil, but the BKB comes out, a double kill for Gabby. This man has been so dangerous on this Morph lane, eats the Chain Frost to back out, and they're ready to reset with the exception of the BKB.
They just never have to back away from this ground. Now they know meta's used from Sylar. Wait for the meta to wear off, and then we can go straight into the high ground, because all our lanes are just constantly pushing in anyway. Tim's is actually just looking for a toss back already.
God. He's a little crazy, but then again, he's also a tiny. He's so tanky, and he has that Ethereal Blade. Meanwhile, the jump forward, able to find the ward. Blow up Sylar. He's gone. Buyback comes immediately. Where's the rest of the answer there? The wall is already dropped, but the secondary wall was dropped by the Rubik afterwards, and Gabby just lays into Bobuka, able to take him down. A secondary vacuum coming from Gabby because he's also the Darkseer. Now the chase forward, the triple kill. He wants blood. He wants everything. Ultra kill for Gabby. Give that man a rampage, and maybe another one. GG called. TNC do it.
TNC did it with an excellent fashion from start to finish of this game. It seemed like Aster they had some moves, but they couldn't find them. They tried with the Lich Sven the one time, they tried with the puck to make the rotation fun of it. They never found any success. TNC were doing a great job of keeping their waves always forced out, so they knew the movements were coming from Aster, and they played this one, I mean, very, very controlled.